Hi everybody, welcome back. Now in this video we're going to go through all of the processes and all the steps which are required when setting up a caravan on site. We are back at our favourite site, which is the Caravan and Motorhome Club Cirencester Park, and as you can see the dog really loves it here. So to begin with, we've parked in the new arrivals bay. We're going to pop in, make ourselves known to the site warden, pay our balance, and then the site warden is going to give us a description of where things are, an idea of where the services are kept, and also what pitches are currently available for us. Right, that's us all booked in now. Got all the information here from the site, from the wardens, and we're all paid up. Now what we need to do is go and find our pitch. Now some sites, depending on which site you obviously book with, will take you to a specific pitch, and in some cases you can actually pay a premium and get booked onto a specific pitch of your choosing. In this case we can just go and choose our own pitch of the part of the site that we particularly like, and that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to head off through the security gates and go and find ourselves a nice grass pitch at the top end of the site. Now how you decide on where to pitch up is a purely personal thing. You may want to be close to the playground, you may want to be in a corner of the site which is fairly quiet. It's a purely personal thing, but please bear in mind that as you're travelling around the site, pay close attention to the on-site speed limits. On this site it's 5 miles an hour, which means that the car shouldn't be out of first gear and the engine shouldn't be over revving. There will be children playing and there'll be people moving their caravans around as well. Now how you get the caravan onto the pitch is purely down to you. You can either use a motor mover or reverse the caravan onto the pitch, but if it's a particularly tight site and you haven't got a motor mover, there's no harm in unhitching the caravan and pushing it on by hand. If you do decide to push it on, you'll probably find other people come out to give you a helping hand as well. Now the pitches here on this site are defined by a marker, and the requirement here is that the rear of the caravan meets that marker, so that's what we're aiming for on these pitches. It's the same for grass and it's the same for hard standing pitches throughout this particular park. Right, so we're now situated on our site. I've reversed up to the marker at the back there. The first thing we need to do though before we uncouple the car is just check to see whether the caravan is level across the axis, and we're going to do that by using a spirit level inside the caravan and see whether we're level across left to right. So let's go and do that now. So as you can see, we need to lift one side of the caravan up, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a very effective and very cheap levelling ramp. We just need to put this in front of the tyre of the caravan, pull the caravan forward until we're level. Now this is perfect if you've got two people. If you're on your own, well, you can use the same method but using a motor mover, so you can actually stand by the caravan. Right, now that we're level across left and right, it's now time to unhitch the car, move the car out of position, and then level up front to back. So what we're going to do now is unhitch and move the car out of the way. With the car now moved out of the way, the steady's put down, the caravan is now sighted. It's now time to put the security items onto the caravan and now start setting up the services. Now the services can be broken up into two groups, inside jobs and outside jobs. We're going to start with the outside, and to start with we're going to deal with all the power items, which involves the gas and our electric hookup. So the very first service we need to connect up to the caravan is the electric hookup. If you're not on a site with electricity, obviously completely bypass this phase. The reason why we're going to connect the electricity first is that we can actually tuck the cable in behind all the other services that we're about to connect onto the caravan. So the simple process is this: connect your electric hookup cable to your caravan first of all, uncoil the cable completely. We don't want it coiled up as tightly as this. We want nice loose coils to prevent any fire risk at all. And then walk off to your electricity post. When we walk off to our post, we're going to make sure we're behind any caravans, out of the way, so that the cable itself is not a slip trip hazard. Right, now we've got power into the caravan, the next thing we need to do is attach all the liquid services. So we're going to start off with the fresh water, move on to the waste, and then finish up with the toilet. So first of all, let's get the aqua roll and head off over to the service point. So whilst we're waiting for the aqua roll to fill up, let's just talk about service points, which are usually dotted around the campsite. This one has got a freshwater, a wastewater and a chemical waste point as well. Some of them have recycling points, and this one's actually got an added extra. It's got a dog wash on here as well. Now these are dotted around the sites, and what the services they offer at the service point depends very much down to the site. Now, sometimes these can be quite busy, so be mindful and be respectful if other people are queuing up as well. It's also a good opportunity to have a chat with some of the other people which are touring on site as well, or catch up with members of your family. Come here often? Yeah. Once the water container is full, it's time to take it back to the caravan. So once it's back at the caravan, we connect the pump from the water container into the caravan itself. So take your outboard pump and bob it up and down in the water just a little bit to help remove any air bubbles, and then plug into the caravan in the correct position. The grey water also needs connecting to the caravan, so just use a couple of flexible hoses or an adapter like we have here into the top of your grey water container. And that's it. Now, the last water service to set up is the toilet. So remove the cassette from the housing, open up the spout on the cassette and add in the blue chemical. The cap on many of today's toilets is also a measuring device, so you can use this to measure the correct quantity of blue chemical into the cassette. Blue chemical will also require some water to be added in, so just top it up as per the instructions. If you have a flush tank, this is a good opportunity to prime that as well, so top up with water and add in the pink additive into the flush tank. So now all the services are switched on and set up outside, it's time to focus our attentions inside the caravan. And really all we need to do is start putting things away, but there's a couple of things we need to switch on inside the caravan. We're going to start by setting up the kitchen, so open up the sink, open up the cooker and close the tap. Make your way to the washroom and close the washroom tap, and also close the shower tap as well. The final tap to close will be the drain down tap. This will be situated close to your water boiler, and with this closed we can then start to fill the water tanks. Whilst we're in the kitchen, let's switch the fridge over to mains hookup and then start powering on the caravan. With the caravan switched on, we can now switch on the water pump. This will pour water through our pipes, through our taps and into our water tanks. There will be some air left in the pipework of the caravan, so it's important that we remove as much of it as possible. So, as a general tip, work from the furthest point away from the water inlet, usually the shower, switch on the cold water, allow the air to escape, and then do the same for the bathroom tap and then the kitchen tap. Repeat the process for the hot water setting to remove any last bit of air from the system. Once this is complete, we can switch on our hot water tank and our heating if required. Now once everything is set up, we're essentially done. It's now just a case of putting all our possessions away. There is something we can do though to ensure that everything is working correctly in the caravan, and that is a sanity check cup of tea. Now, a sanity check cup of tea literally makes sure that we test every part of the caravan, all the services and all the systems are working correctly. So let's go through it. First of all, we need to use the water to fill the kettle. Second of all, we need to use the electric or the gas to heat the water in our kettle. Thirdly, we need some milk, so that makes sure that the fridge is nice and cold. Obviously, we've got ourselves our food all nicely stowed away. We can sit down and enjoy our cup of tea. Then for washing up, well, we need some warm water so we can check that we've got hot water. And then obviously we can check the loo afterwards to remove the remains of the tea. And that's a really good way of making sure that the caravan is set up correctly. So what next? Well, we can obviously go outside and we can fit our awning up. We can put a barbecue together, or we could sit down and enjoy our cup of tea. It really is now up to you. But basically, the caravan is now sorted and we're now ready for our holiday.